From Calvary Church of Santa Ana, this is the Calvary Life Podcast, the show where we share stories, laugh together, and have discussions about faith, life, and God with people from Calvary Church. Here are your hosts, Eric and Matt.
Welcome to the Calvary Life Podcast. This is Eric Wakeling here with
Matt Doan, and today is Dress Like Your Boss Day.
Yeah, so we did not coordinate this. If you are watching, because maybe this could be on YouTube at some point.
This is our second week with video.
Yeah, second week with video, but we are looking real samesies today.
You want to describe the look?
Is this rust?
Yeah, it's sand.
Sand feels more tan to me.
Yeah, I'd say rust.
I'm really bad with colors, though. I have this whole
Me
thing
too.
where I believe in the Crayola 8.
Yeah.
And then everything else is just a variation. So it's just like red or light red.
Yeah, when someone says magenta, I have no idea what they mean.
No, there's orange, there's light orange.
Right.
Dark orange.
Yes.
Orange with blue. I don't know. So, yeah, that's a good start.
So we're both wearing blue jeans and rust-colored shirts, white T-shirts.
Orangey sand. Yeah, like if your color is an item, it's not a color, right? Like robin egg, that's a thing that birds come from. It's not a color. What?
That just makes me laugh.
You like when I have these rules?
Yes.
And then let's see. Oh, we're recording on a Tuesday morning, which is
a little
crazy.
different for us.
So if you're getting this a little later in your week, that's why. But at least you're getting it, because normally if we don't record on a Monday,
Right.
you get nothing.
Yeah. So I was not here. You were ready to go.
I
was not prepared for yesterday, so that's why we're punting to Tuesday.
You were pretty prepared.
I was prepared, but I wasn't here.
Exactly.
So my sweet wife, Marie,
Yeah.
turned 29 this weekend. And so we call it a festival. So her birthday was on Sunday, but really there's days and days.
Okay.
So I am actually not really realizing it until this weekend, but I am the host of the festival.
Oh, okay.
So
You guys have been married for like 25 years or something like that?
Yeah.
And you're just realizing this now?
just realizing this now.
Whose job did you think it was? Hers? Because actually there is a thing where sometimes it's like the person wants to be in charge of their own thing.
Yeah.
Now, is there a combination that she wants to be in charge, but she also wants you to sort of act like you're in charge?
I think that describes actually our entire marriage.
I was thinking that as I said it. That's so good.
We might need Annie Ganal to come back. No, love Marie. We had a really fun weekend, but yesterday I was off. We were celebrating her birthday.
Yeah, you were on a boat?
Yeah.
What'd you guys do?
We went to a place called Lake Paris out in the Inland Empire, the beautiful Inland
Where
Empire.
everyone wants to go on their birthday.
I know. But it was warm enough and the water was warm enough. We went water skiing with her family who has a boat.
That's cool. Yeah, that's actually
That's
really
the best
fun.
boat to have, not yours.
Yes.
But someone in your family.
And that you can do water skiing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was really good.
That's awesome. Happy birthday to Marie. I had on my way here, something happened that's another one of my little pet peeves to talk about.
Yeah.
So I'm driving here to church down Irvine Boulevard from Tustin.
Okay.
And it is like there's a police officer in front of me.
Yeah.
And then, so we're stopped like
Tustin?
We're stopped at Newport and Irvine Boulevard at Tustin PD.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in front of me and then continues 40 mile per hour speed limit.
Mm-hmm.
He's going 30.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, what's the move here? And why do they do this? Because I feel like it's entrapment or something, you know?
They're trying to
get
on
you
to pass
frustrated that you'll pass them, I think, you know? But you're just kind of, because also you're sort of just like naturally speeding up.
Yeah.
That everyone does. But then it's like, oh, shoot, I guess we're not going all the way.
Yeah.
We're just going to stop here now at 30, you know? And so, yeah, I don't know. I feel like he was trying to get me.
He was trying to get you. Maybe he was driving slow because he was looking for crime and trying to be a diligent public safety officer.
Then he should go in the slower lane.
I have to tell you, so you were a chaplain for a while, and I've done a few ride-alongs with our local police departments.
Yeah.
It is so fascinating when you're in a patrol car and how cars around you respond. Like when
I
you
know.
come to a stop sign, everyone stops and like does like the 30-second like hands on the wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's funny because the times I've driven with people, like the officers not paying any attention to anyone.
No.
And but everyone is like,
yeah, exactly. Everyone's,
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally know what you're saying. The police officer is Speaking of distracted drivers, these police officers are like, they're looking at a computer. They have this like laptop that's telling them what calls and where to go. That's sort of this built-in laptop thing. And then they got their phones out. They're doing all sorts of stuff and looking at crime. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. We support our police officers.
Oh,
I feel like you're a little negative right now about our
I am negative.
public safety.
I'm very negative. I am negative against ticketing, like traffic police. I like crime fighters. I don't like traffic police. So I'm sorry if you're traffic police and you're listening to this and you're offended, bring it. Podcast@calvarylife.org.
I actually have a category that makes me more frustrated than that, and that is street sweeper tickets. The person that gives you tickets for having your car in the wrong place on a street sweeping day.
Yeah, that makes you mad.
It's sad.
If like I
feel more sad than mad. I'm like, why?
Especially if it's your own house, because you're like, if I want it dirty, I want it. It's my house. It could be dirty. Right. Do you know that my house has street sweeper with no ticket?
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yes.
That's the way I think every city should operate.
Yeah, and they just go around. If there's a car there or whatever,
that
they
seems
just go
totally
around.
normal.
The one thing they do with the street sweeper in my neighborhood, though, is it comes on Fridays. Friday is the day after trash day.
Yes.
Often still many trash cans are along the curb. And so he has to go, the street sweeper goes around them then.
Right.
And so then you're just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem efficient.
Like it could be, maybe you would do a different day with more space.
Right. Have I said my philosophy of life here?
No.
Of how to make the world a better place?
Let's hear it.
My gardener trash day situation?
No.
Yeah. So I don't know if I've said this here or not, but so I think the way that the world should work and it will be a better place.
Okay, according to Eric P. Wakeling.
Yes. Is that you can only have gardeners go to homes on, or if they're going to do lawnmower or blower or weed whacker thing, edger, you can only do those things on trash day.
Huh.
So here's my philosophy.
Okay.
You can know this. You know it would be easy to set up your schedule. You don't have to lose work. I don't want anyone to lose work.
Yeah.
I don't want that. It just depends which homes you go to. You go to these homes on these certain trash days.
I'm not following your logic yet, but I'm looking forward to hearing what happens.
Because in that neighborhood then, one day a week it is noise pollution. Oh. One day a week you've got blowers going, you've got trash trucks going.
Yes.
All that. And it's one day a week is bad.
Yeah.
That day, fine.
You just hunker down.
Hunker down. And you don't sit in your back patio, whatever.
Right.
But all the other days, peace and quiet. Because sometimes it seems like in all neighborhoods, every day, there's a blower going. You know?
Funny.
Somewhere that you're just hearing it coming from somewhere.
Right.
And I think that we need more peace.
Yeah. That's actually, okay, let's even just expand that desire, that goal. It does feel like there's just a level of noise here in Southern California.
Yes, yes.
And I don't think that's the case in a lot of places in the world.
Right, exactly. You're hearing a distant siren, an airplane coming from John Wayne, going into John Wayne.
Right.
You're hearing all sorts of car noise. Yeah, I know, man. Construction noise.
Yeah.
It's all out there. Yeah, we need peace. I don't know if we could say like you could only do construction.
Give you peace. Only trash truck days can you do. You should add that to your prayer.
Please let me know if you think this could work or if you think I am somehow like discriminating against gardeners in some way.
Yeah, I wouldn't use the word discriminating. I just don't know how practical that is, because if the trash day was the same day as the gardeners, then they're putting all of their clippings in the trash. But what if the trash already been picked up? Now it's sitting there for a week.
This just becomes better mulch. Yeah, it cooks in there all week, gets nice. So then when they pick it up, it's like, wow, this is ready to be used. That's even better.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know.
Really
I don't know. So, okay, there's one other off topic. Or a couple other off topic.
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like I have a ton of off topic things to bring up.
We can do some other off topic things.
Yeah.
I mean, anything else from your weekend, or was just festival?
The festival dominated my weekend, but I did have speaking actually of law enforcement, I did have a little bit of a scary situation where our sweet daughter Lily went up to Forest Home for a weekend retreat with some kids from her college. and her car broke down on the Highway 38 in a spot where there's no cell reception. Like literally there's no cell reception. So she was with another girl from her school, which was great. They were able to walk down Highway 38 because they didn't have a phone that would work. They got into a neighborhood, and a neighbor saw them, like, can I help you? And they're like, oh, we can't get cell phone service. And they're like, oh, we totally get that. You stand in our front yard and use our Wi-Fi, which was super cool.
Oh, yeah.
So Lily calls me. It's like, Dad, I'm broken down in the 38. This person's letting me use their Wi-Fi. What should I do? And I was like, okay, can you call somebody up at Forest Home, which is not that far away? Can they come pick you up? And then call me back to let me know that you got somebody, but I'm on my way to take care of the car. She's like, great. So she did that. We didn't hear from her for 2.5 hours. She was like radio silent.
And she's not responding.
Not responding because she can't get anything. So I'm driving, and it just shows her location in this neighborhood on your way to Forest Home.
And now, let me just add a little color that you might not add to this. Those neighborhoods at the low hills below Forest Home.
You're thinking what I'm thinking.
Are maybe some interesting folk that are a little off-griddy.
Yes. That was my main concern. Yes. And so we didn't hear anything, and we kept calling. And so we called Highway Patrol. And we're like, hey, my 20-year-old daughter is stranded on the side of the road. She did call us to let us know she's okay, but we haven't heard from her since.
But it was also Friday afternoon, so it took you. It would have taken you forever. I'm like, how are you not?
It took me 3 hours to get to Forest Home.
I was gonna say 2.5 hours. You should have been there like an hour. Or...
I know.
Okay.
And so, anyway, long story short,
yeah.
Highway Patrol was super cool. They're like, we'll send a car up the highway just to kind of check it out.
Yeah.
And then we got a call from Lily.
Oh no, she's like at dinner at Forest.
She's like, hey, I've been here at Forest Home for like an hour and a half. And I'm like, Lily, we just called Highway Patrol, like searching for you. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And like, it's so funny. Which I'm just getting paid back to what I've done my entire life. But but yeah, it was relief that she was okay. But then I had to head up to Forest Home, grab the car, and then have it towed all the way back to Orange County.
Okay, man. Do you have the like plus?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Anyways, shout out to Highway Patrol for
that's
being willing to
that's why you
search and seek my daughter out.
That's why you came to their defense when I was bashing on the cops.
Okay, what other random things do you have?
Ella was supposed to go to that, but she ended up not because like all her crew, like all of the people she was going with canceled like the day before. And she was like, kind of felt weird going to that thing by herself. It's like Camp Love or something like that.
Yeah, I had a lot of questions. Lily said, hey, I'm going this weekend to a camp called Camp Love. And I was like, wait, what?
I was researching it too.
You figure it's at Forest Home. It's got to be decent.
Yeah, exactly. But that did help. But that's cool. That's cool that she went to that.
Okay, what are the random things?
Well, I went to Mount Baldy again on Friday.
How are you feeling sore-wise?
So that's the thing.
What?
Fine.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I did.
That's encouraging.
Yeah, I did it on Friday. Sunday, I was going up and down stairs with ease.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was super happy about that.
Wow, that's encouraging.
I did it in an hour and 20 minutes less than I did the week before.
Okay.
So that shows how long I did it the week before.
Any stories of climbing Baldy?
Made some friends. So
why not?
Yeah, exactly. So like, there's these two dudes like Mark and Rick that I made friends with.
Like
on
you
the way
actually
up.
made friends?
Yeah. So I was like with them. We were kind of like going up, and they caught up to me, and I let them pass. 'Cause I'm always like, I don't want people coming up on, like, I just want to feel like I can go at my own pace.
Yeah.
And let those guys go. But then we kept like
passing each other.
And so then eventually we just like introduced ourselves and hung out. And so we were talking a lot. And then on the way down, though, they were a little older than me. And on the way down, they just slowed up hard. Ooh. Like I just like was gone.
Well, probably what happened to you last week is you said going down was actually harder.
I know. Well, so this time too, I went the opposite direction. So it's a loop. On the way up, I did the gradual last week and then steep down. And then this week I did steep up and then gradual down, which was way better on the legs. And then, so yeah, I made friends with him. Then I made friends with this other guy on the way down. He like sped up. He like sped up from behind me. And I was kind of like, you know, when you're like looking, because you know, people walk up on you, you're always a little bit like, what are you doing, bro? And there's some like weird mountain folk out there, kind of like Lily's friends.
Yes.
And then this guy comes up and then he changes to my pace and is like, how's it going? And I'm like, it's going good. I don't know. And we were just talking. Yeah, his name's Fonz. He said like the Fonz from Happy Days.
Yeah.
But he was like 10 years younger than me. Huh. So I was like, dang, Happy Days reference. This guy must get this a lot.
Yeah.
And then so this was the interesting part. He asked for my phone number. Huh. And I was like, okay. But I also just like kind of weird because he was like, we should go hiking sometime. But I got to be honest, I was a little bit like, I don't know, bro. I don't know if I want to go hiking with you. And then I feel like for the gospel and stuff, I should go hiking with him. But then I'm like, what if this guy's crazy? What if he kills me in the wilderness? And then I'm also like, what if he's too fast? What if he's too slow? Half the time he was complaining about his other hiking friend, but he kind of liked how we were when we were hiking together. And I'm like,
he ditched his friend.
I know. And then I don't know. I'm like, well, right now I'm on the downhill. This is easy. In my head, I'm like, this is the easy part. Like, I'm doing fine. Like, I don't know. So
shout out to Fonz. Thanks for, maybe he was evangelizing to you.
I know. What if he was? What if he's like, yeah, that would be awesome. I would love if somebody tried to witness to me.
Yeah.
I've had people do certain things and I'm like, more like at the door kind of, that kind of stuff.
I have to say though, and I'm guessing your experience is the same. I've only been like cold witness to, meaning cold, like someone just walks up to you and talks to you, maybe less than a handful of times.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes me think, sometimes we think, oh, people are inundated with Christians.
Yeah.
But maybe they have my experience too, or they haven't. So I don't know, just like another like little kind of thought about sharing your faith. You just never know how that simple conversation could be actually meaningful to somebody.
That's good. That's a good point. Have you ever had the person that says, like I've said, like, yeah, I'm a believer. I believe in Jesus, and I'm even a pastor. Mm-hmm. And then they go, and I get the response of, well, even pastors could not really know the true Jesus. And then I'm like, oh no. And then I'm like, okay, you're an intense person,
right? Right, for sure.
Which it's true. But anyway, so that was fun. Yeah, feeling stronger, getting ready for.
That's encouraging, especially after last week. I was a little worried, like, ooh, you were sore.
I know, and it's like Mount Baldy.
Can you show your sunburn?
I can't get to there too. The jeans are too skinny. But plus my calves are just getting so huge. But my flesh is just falling off my legs from my sunburn last week.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah.
And my kids are like, Grace is just like, Dad, stop. Because I was sitting like in the living room and itching it and just skin's just sloughing off of my body. And she's just like, ew, you're disgusting. And I'm like, I don't know what else to do. It's itchy. It's so itchy.
It's my home.
Yeah. And then
I have another weird topic.
Oh, yeah.
Besides your itchy skin. Okay, so across from the church on Wellington, there was a building there.
Yeah.
That was there, I believe, on Saturday.
It definitely was there.
And then it was there Sunday.
It was there yesterday morning, bro, Monday morning.
Yeah. So I was gone during the day at the lake, and then I came back last night for a meeting here, and the building's gone.
Gone.
It's gone. In one afternoon, the thing just gets leveled.
Yes, it's amazing. So it's just two of these excavators, they're called, right? Those things are just plowing they just plowed the building down. I watched it yesterday.
Wow.
And Rick Kavecki, chairman of our elder board here at Calvary Church.
Shout out to
husband of Carolyn, who's a listener. I don't know if Rick might be like a listener adjacent. Like he hears it in the background.
Yeah, not a willing participant.
Yeah, exactly. He texted me. He was like, I'm over at the job site. Want to come over and see it? So I did. So I went over there and we were watching them just bash the building down with these giant excavators. I called them steam shovels.
Yeah.
But that's like the name from like 100 years ago. And then, and it was so cool. They just plowed this thing down.
Yeah.
And then these excavators, these are these huge machines, these huge things. And they are just grabbing, because after they tear it down, they start separating the wood from the steel, from the carpet, from like other parts. And they're just grabbing little wires with these huge like shovel things.
Teeth things.
Yeah, but they're massive machines and they're just like just picking all of it up and like separating it. Yeah. So it's pretty funny.
Do you think those guys, when they get home, they're like, their spouse is like, how was your day? Was it stressful? Not really. I just got to knock down stuff all day.
I know. It's awesome. It totally is.
What were you going to say?
I don't know. It was just cool. I like watching it. I got to watch it though. I watched it like go from full building to destroyed. It's that building you'll see when you come in. So across Wellington, it's the one that was kind of like brown wood shingle looking next to what's called the Osers building. Yeah, so this new building's a new office for Osers, which is like Orange County Retirement Systems, something like that. And so their new office will be like a huge building right there, and they don't know what they're going to do with the other building, but it'll look like a nice new building on the corner of Wellington and Tustin Avenue. So I think it'll actually like kind of just make our neighborhood a little nicer, even, you know. But anyway, Isn't that crazy?
I wish it would have been here. It would have been done on a non-spring break week for our preschool kids. That would have been the best thing for our preschool kids, just to like safely walk out there and just watch. I mean, every preschool boy would just be like, in
totally. Oh, you're so right. All right, one last thing.
Yeah.
I think maybe before we get into, because we're at 20 minutes already.
Sure.
Before we get into serious stuff. But we need to talk about Formula One racing.
Yeah.
Because this has been a new thing for you.
This is a brand new experience. Last year, it was all about Premier League soccer.
That's right.
And I'm dressing like you.
Dude, that's...
I'm beginning to follow the sports that you like. If I start climbing Mount Baldy with a guy named Fonz, just do an intervention on me, okay?
Maybe I'll give you Fonz's contact info. Do you think Fonz would know if you showed up and instead of me, and you just pretended like you were me?
Like, hey, Fonz, good to see you
it's
again.
me, Eric. Good to see you. Oh my gosh, that'd be an epic trick. Anyway, no, but yeah. So 2 years ago from today, you would have and did mock, ridicule, belittle, inflict harm and cruelty upon me.
That's a little much.
Because I was like Euro sports guy.
Yeah.
I was full football,
You're
soccer.
wearing the capris with no socks. You have like the little backpack sash thing across your shoulder.
Did I tell you about the cigarette smoker guy?
No.
I didn't talk about this on the pod last week. So this at Mount Baldy.
Oh, another Mount Baldy story.
Well, this is from my first trip to Mount Baldy. Is I'm going up and I'm like dying and suffering on this like super steep part. All of a sudden comes downhill on this part, which he must have been so fast and started so early to even be at that part by then. He's coming downhill, flying by me, this trail runner with tight capris, like little cinched, like mid-calf capri pants. And he's just running, booking it, smoking a cigarette. And he's just like, what's up? I'm like, am I going the right way? He's like, you're doing good, man. And he's just like smoking a cig.
Wait, he's running
down the trail full speed. This was like one of the ski runs of Mount Baldy that I'm like trying to go up. And it was very funny. It was just this like, I don't know what just happened. Because how's he a trail runner just smoking a dart?
Oh, that's crazy. I think, you guys, we just all need to start experiencing Mount Baldy. There's a lot going on that
guys,
mountain.
I love Mount Baldy. I'm going to go there all the time.
Of course, you have friends.
Liz Clark just did Mount Baldy on Sunday afternoon.
Walked or ran?
Ran. So it took me like 7 hours, like on my good time one.
Right.
She did the whole thing in 3 hours.
Wow. That's incredible.
It's so crazy. Okay, anyway, back to Formula One. So you would have made fun of me about these things.
Absolutely.
And now this is becoming your life.
Yes, I love Formula One. I still don't quite understand it, but I love it.
How did you watch all the seasons of Drive to Survive?
No, I've not watched any seasons.
What?
So this is really, there's three influences. You're an influence.
Yeah.
My dad has gotten into Formula One, huge. And so it's kind of a way for us to connect.
That's cool.
And then third, my dad and I went to go see the Formula One movie last summer.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, there's like a lot more going on here than just left turn, left turn, left turn, left turn, left turn.
Well, it's not left turn. That's NASCAR.
I know, that's what my impression
okay.
what Formula One was.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, it's super fascinating.
Yeah, it is. It's very complex, actually. It's quite complex. I actually have a podcast you could try to listen to.
Right.
Maybe you have some podcasts.
Yeah.
But I like this guy named Spanners. But anyway, so Formula One now, no episodes of Drive to Survive.
Nope.
This will be fun for you then to, at some point, get into Drive to Survive because it's quite interesting.
Is that on Netflix?
Netflix.
Yeah, I don't have Netflix.
Really?
Can I borrow your subscription?
No, I don't let people do that. I think that's stealing.
Listener, if there's anyone out there that doesn't have any scruples about that, let me know.
I've always been this way too. I don't even remember I was like this way about like CDs, like burning CDs and stuff.
I remember this. Yes.
Then okay, so that's interesting. Usually Netflix is the one people have.
I know.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any television?
Oh boy, where's this going?
I'm just wondering. Do you have cable? Are you old?
We have Amazon. We have Prime.
Okay.
Which comes with.
You must have Apple TV because isn't that the way to watch
Formula One?
Formula One.
I actually found the Formula One app.
Oh, okay. Formula One app. And you pay, though. You have the pay version. You must. You have someone else's. Oh, I like when I catch you in your little sneaks. Wow. Podcast at calvarylife.org if you want to discuss the integrity of Matt Doan.
Wait, no, I'm paying for it.
Oh.
Just maybe not everyone in my family knows.
Oh, I thought you were stealing the code from somebody.
No.
Okay. All right, yeah. Sometimes I did just tell B last night. By the way, I said this is like us just catching up. It's so pathetic. This podcast. This is what Kathy Norton's going to yell at us for. Okay, so last night I texted B and I just said, "Hey, tomorrow I'm going to find out my window of buying Olympics tickets."
Oh,
because you had to put your name in.
Yeah.
And then they send the windows of time out today.
Oh, I didn't know that.
As a local.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And then I go, babe, just so you know, in this next week, I'm going to spend a lot of our money. It's going to be like an extraordinary amount that I'm going to spend.
What sports are you going after?
So that's what I'm like, I'm having a hard time because, so I heard that in this first round, you can only buy 12 tickets. Now, I don't know if that means 12 events or if that means total tickets.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, do I even just not take anyone? Do I just go by myself to 12 things? Or do I?
Well, you could invite Fonz.
Yeah, me and Fonz can go to the hike trail runner hiking competition. And then, so I might just buy 2 tickets to 6 events.
Yeah.
And if I can, I mean, we'll see, you know. But the thing that you can do is like you take a friend and then they pay for theirs, so that helps like make it happen.
Yeah.
And then a couple things I might take B or whatever. But I'm interested in track and field. I'm interested in swimming. Actually,
of course, everybody is.
I'm interested in surfing. I'm interested in triathlon. But I might just watch triathlon from like the side of the road.
Actually, triathlon's a hard sport to watch in person because it's just like all over the place.
So I'll probably just go and try and like watch triathlon from somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I'm really bummed because they moved it to Venice. It was supposed to be in Long Beach, but now it's in Venice, which is hard to get to and awful. Anyway, so
I actually heard a rumor that they're not going to allow anyone to drive around the Olympic areas.
To park far away and take buses in.
Yeah.
And so then I don't know, does that mean you have to like show that you have a ticket to the event to get bussed in?
Great question.
So stuff like that. So anyway, those are some. I'm interested in soccer, football. I'm interested in volleyball, which will be at the Honda Center.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that kind of.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in gymnastics, but it feels like that's probably too hard to get.
Okay, I didn't know. I've signed up too, but I didn't know the window was today.
Today is when they send you your window.
Okay.
Which is a 48-hour window of time this week.
Whoa.
Between now and like Monday.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see.
Interesting.
I haven't got my email
update
yet.
us next week. What happens?
I know. So anyway, just telling B like, the credit card's going to take a hit.
Are tickets expensive?
I have a feeling it's going to be expensive.
Really?
Yeah. Because I could get on there with all these like high hopes and then get like two tickets.
You're right.
I'm just like, oh, that's too much.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll see. All right. So Formula One, you're in. Who's your driver? Who's your team?
Well, I'm not deep enough into, I think, my understanding from Formula One to actually have a team. I do like some of the underdogs. So Cadillac just formed a team. And I think it's kind of funny that Cadillac has a team in Formula One.
Are you going to be like a Botas fan or something?
Yeah, well, he's for Cadillac. So right now they're like the worst 2 drivers and team. But I'm kind of interested. This is kind of a theme in my life. I like the underdogs and seeing how they rise up. So I have a little bit of rooting interest in Cadillac. But then also, it's really fun. This is the opposite, but to see Mercedes just dominating right now.
Mercedes is dominating, and the 18-year-old kid, Kimi Antonelli.
Yeah, he's pretty exciting.
Yeah, so it'd be kind of fun to be a Kimi fan. I wish you had declared it like 2 weeks ago.
Before he won his last 2 races.
All right. Okay. We'll talk more Formula One later. Let's get into.
Yes.
Here's my. this is what you guys
Video listeners.
You guys can see this. These are my notes. This is what is a order of service flow of the service that we print out of how the service goes, and I keep one of these on me so you can like access this on your phone too. But I just sometimes like to look at the piece of paper.
I for sure.
I don't like looking
same.
like I'm looking at my phone.
Yes, that's the main reason.
Yeah, and so then it also says all the things I'm supposed to say, like in the benediction or whatever, not the prayer because you have to memorize.
I've started in our worship center moments to. I'll check my phone during the service if I have an element coming up. Because sometimes Trevor or even you will text, hey, don't forget this, or there's a little adjustment to something. Yeah. So it's always kind of nice to get that. But I always feel kind of bad. Like, guys,
I know.
It's not.
I know. Because sometimes in the front row, I will I'll text Trevor in the sound booth because I'm just like, dude, why is there so much smoke? Or, hey, bro, like we forgot blah blah blah, or whatever it is, or this thing's not working. Anyway. But I enjoyed Sunday very much, the burial of Jesus sermon that you gave. It was lovely. That was the other F1 thing I wanted to bother you about. Scuderia. You talked about the Scuderia in your sermon a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Do you understand now that most F1 people would only refer to one team when they speak of the Scuderia?
I do understand that now.
Okay.
So I talked during our Reach Week about forming a Scuderia, which is like a team around a Formula One driver.
A stable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I talked about how we could do that with our missionaries, form a team around them. But now I'm realizing as I'm getting more into the sport, a Scuderia is definitely just a Ferrari team.
Good job. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. I'm proud of you. You're growing. You're doing great.
I'm sure most of our church was wondering the same thing.
The whole notion of the borrowed tomb is just so good. You did such a great job with this.
Oh, thanks.
It was so... I love it's like a play on words or whatever of like because he only needed it for like a couple days or whatever. Right. Yeah. So I love that. I thought that was really, really good. It just shows the power of God so well. And then the turn, and this is kind of like the overall. This is like, if you had to give the sermon in 2 minutes, almost you could have, you know?
100%.
But we're very able to give that sermon in 30 minutes or plus.
Right.
Both of us, not just you, both of us. But that turn of like, and your tomb is borrowed as well. That was really good too. I just think that's so powerful.
Yeah, I had just come off. We did a memorial service for Joan North, who was a wonderful staff member here at Calvary for decades and had lived just a faithful, wonderful life. And so her memorial service was here at Calvary on Saturday. And so it was even just hitting me over the weekend of like, wow, we're celebrating Joan North's life, but it's a life that's it's done for this earthly moment. But man, as she's buried, it's just a temporary thing.
Yeah,
so it's just so powerful.
Exactly.
And I'm looking out at the audience, and I saw a few people who have buried loved ones in the last few months, and I'm looking, I'm like literally looking at them as we're talking about the borrowed tomb, and just being like, oh, this is a message that like is so relevant to us in the room.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so good. That's awesome. And then, so you started it off with talking about your wife's birthday, which was good. It's good. I mean, I feel like if it's your wife's birthday that day and she's there, I do think this is my opinion, not yours. Okay. My opinion, not yours. That you preaching was probably all the gift that she really needed.
I wish we could phone her right now and ask her that question.
She would laugh. She would die because if she would be like, Eric, you need to shut up. You know, yeah, that's not true.
I should have said that. Marie, happy birthday. Here's your gift.
Yes.
This message.
Yeah, it's the word of God preached. But you did say that whole thing, this partner in the kingdom thing, and I was back at the sound booth and I go, ugh, barf.
Okay, a little side note on that. I do feel like, and I struggle with this, obviously, but like social media, when you like say something to your spouse, it's not your personal card to them. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I know, dude.
Like a lot of times when we like, happy birthday, babe. Here's the things I love about you.
Oh yeah.
And I get why people do that. I do it. I kind of even did it on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh man, some of those things feels like it's not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying, because there's a level of like, I want the world to know They're like, I love B. She's
Yes.
awesome. Like, and this is like
Even some reasons why.
in some reasons why. But I think sometimes it can get weird.
Or let me replace it with this. If you're not doing that to the person and you're just doing it
Yeah.
publicly, maybe that's the issue.
Oh, yeah. That's true, too. There is something, I know what you mean, even though I do it.
I know. I do it too.
Well, you do it to every single person on earth. On the good old book face. All right. So, yeah, that was great. And then you really, like, just started pretty early on, like, really preach the gospel. Like, even before you got to your title slide.
Right.
You were, like, preaching the gospel. Like, why did he die?
Right.
Good, you know, like, our sin against God that's nailed to the cross.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, I like how you said triune Godhead. I liked that for some reason. Like, I don't know. Because you're like, Jesus, wait, no, the triune
Yeah, I had
Godhead.
to correct myself.
Yeah. And you know how I have this, like, my little pet peeve with, I don't like when we say God, even though the Bible does this. So I have to, like, check myself.
Yeah.
But I don't like when we say God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, when we're speaking of the Father.
Yeah.
And then we say God, but it's like, I liked how you said triune Godhead, because that felt like it captures all of, you know, the essence of who he is.
Yeah. There's a sense the Father sends the Son.
Yeah. Sorry.
The Father and the Son send the Spirit. Even as John, we're touching feet right now. We are kind of close in this new video format.
I don't know what to do with my body. All right, keep going.
So yeah, God the Father sends the Son. God the Father and the Son send the Spirit, as John 16 talks about. But really, it's just all one agency.
Yeah.
That's sending each member of the Triune Godhead for its particular work, office, that type of thing.
Yeah, that's cool. So anyway, I don't know. I just wrote down that I like that. And then we got title slide 7.5 minutes in.
I love that you Jack.
But it wasn't the bad kind. This was the good kind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. It's setting up.
You weren't just like talking about
meandering.
You weren't like, look, there's Johnny over there, and Johnny has his uncle's birthday was last week.
Can we talk though for a moment how great Frank's story was?
Oh yeah. Super good.
Yeah. So Frank got invited on Easter Sunday, 2024.
Yep.
Really moved by the service.
Yep.
Been here ever since.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
I know, it's really cool. So I feel like Frank's story should keep us all up for inviting people, even people that are close to us.
Yeah.
Because that was his girlfriend that invited him,
right.
You know? But like sometimes I think it's almost harder to invite your like people close to you than it is to invite like a rando or someone you met recently or something, you know? So yeah, that was really, really cool. Yeah. And then this radio voice, just
he was the most incredible reader. Yeah.
Yeah.
When Luke Simpson puts together our Luke compilation, it's Frank's gonna be a highlight of that.
He will be a highlight. Maybe he should just do the whole thing.
Oh, that's true.
And then you could have him just read the whole thing, and then you could slightly speed it up and see when does it lose the rich voice.
Yes.
So it's not like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Anyway, but no, we're never doing that. All right. What else are you, because I can keep going, but you want me to keep going and keep leading it? Because I like when the notes taker kind of leads the discussion.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the next thing I liked a lot, and we can get into a conversation about some of this, but like in a second. That's a lot of, that's a lot of info on Joseph of Arimathea. Not in you gave too much, but like, that's cool that we have all that info about him, because you have this slide with like 8 things.
I know.
Or something like that about Joseph of Arimathea. And I thought that was helpful, I think, for people to see, this is like a full person.
Yeah.
Because it feels, I mean, I know he's only in a couple spots.
Right.
Really, but we learn all those things in those couple spots.
Yeah.
But I thought that's really interesting. And to think about him being buddies with Nicodemus is really cool to me. Yeah.
I know.
So these guys that are influential, wealthy people, and they were using their wealth and influence for good.
Yeah.
But I think they also had to sort of be careful that they didn't like lose their position. But they were like bold enough with also being kind of like wise about how they use their influence. You know? I don't know. Isn't that?
It's so true. I mean, the journey of Nicodemus from John 3, where he's like meeting with Jesus at night.
Yeah.
to then here at the end in the burial where he's very active in bringing the spices to bury the body. And then same with Joseph of Arimathea. In Matthew, it says he was a secret believer. So he was someone that was believing in Christ but hadn't publicly said it until this moment when he goes to Pilate. And obviously, if he was asking for the body, it kind of you kind of make the conclusion that he was a follower or believer in Christ.
And he's sort of coming out in this fully public way. Yeah.
But we don't hear about him ever again.
Yeah, you're right.
So you wonder, like, what was the rest of his life like? Was he in the upper room with the disciples when the Spirit of God came? Day of Pentecost? Was he a traveling evangelist after this? I don't know. It doesn't say.
What's crazy is there's so many people we don't really hear about.
Right. They just kind of drop off.
Mary Magdalene.
Yes.
Joanna.
I know.
Like these women that go to the tomb.
Yes.
Yeah, you just don't really hear about them.
I know.
Again.
It'd be fascinating just to know, how did their lives play out? Did some end up walking away? Did some become like this even bolder witness for Christ? Like, yeah.
And did they just live like, 10:02.
Oh, yeah.
Workers for the harvest, Lord.
Yeah, Lord.
So my phone's going off. And then, so just like, anyway, it's just kind of like interesting because you wonder if they just, I don't know, they live just a faithful personal life for the Lord and they talked about him with others and or they're just like part of the community, you know, they didn't like make a big splash to get written about in a book. And that might even make some of us, like, and some of you listening, have a sense of, I don't need to be the name written in the book. I just live a faithful life to the Lord, obedient, brave when I need to be brave, but like, you know.
Is it, I'll look at my phone for a minute because it's 2 Timothy talks about just your goal to live a quiet, ordinary life.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There's something just really compelling about that.
There really is too.
I'll look it up as you're talking.
Yeah. So I just, it's interesting to think about Joseph of Arimathea.
Yeah.
I really like that. And then, okay, I'll do a make fun of you part. While you do
Please, I need it.
You helped us understand that Joseph of Arimathea was not the Joseph from Genesis. And so I wrote, wow, thanks.
Oh, that's funny. Where is that?
I thought maybe he did live thousands of years before, but I guess he didn't.
Oh, First Thessalonians 4:11 and 12. Make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, to mind your own business and work with your hands, to win the respect of outsiders, be dependent on no one. It's kind of interesting.
That's like the verse for Karens.
Yeah.
Sorry to those actually named Karen.
Karen Yates.
Yeah, sorry, Karen.
Yeah.
But no, I mean the stereotypical Karens.
Oh,
like, mind your own business.
Oh, yeah. That's what you're saying.
Mind your own business. Do your thing. Work with your hands. Don't get up in all other people's stuff. Yeah. No. Oh, you thought I meant like actual. Oh, so maybe you did need to be reminded that this wasn't Joseph from the book of Genesis.
Mind your business. No, not to be defensive, but I think it was very important to talk about. It wasn't his earthly father.
I agree. I thought that was very important
and
as well.
Then, I slid in the other one. We do have new believers, kind of seekers. So just trying to like help them understand.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they got that.
Yeah. Most new believers are real stupid. They get like a beginning of a book is not the same as the end of a book. Anyway, whatever. I'm sorry. No, they might not know exactly everything, but I don't know if that was a big concern. But it also, you didn't say it was not Joseph Garcia.
Oh, that's true. I could have thrown that out. That would have been fun.
All right. No, that was good. But I like making fun. I have to find stuff I can make fun of you about.
Please. I love it.
Yeah, so then you got into the what are you willing to give up portion, which I described as a mini Lent at the end of the service.
Yes,
you know, you got this like last week. You can do a week of Lent of some sort. And why did I write like Pilate sacrificed his reputation? Why did I write that?
Well, I think it was Joseph that went to Pilate to sacrifice.
I think I wrote it down wrong.
Yeah,
I think I meant Joseph sacrificed his reputation.
Yeah, we read about Pilate again. Sometimes you kind of forget that Pilate actually shows up in a couple different places.
Yeah.
So here he is after the burial releasing the body of Jesus, which didn't have to happen because you could have just let him stay up there and been eaten by the ravens and birds, or he could have just had him thrown into the heap, which happened to a lot of the criminals in that day. But Pilate was used by God to release the body of Jesus, and Joseph kind of risks any security or just kind of a sense that, oh, now he's on the radar of the Roman government to go ask for that body.
Yeah.
And then physically, it sounds like he takes Jesus's body down. Like,
oh, like he does it himself.
yeah. I mean, I'm assuming like what a privilege that Joseph or Arimathea had this moment to literally tenderly or somehow take the body of Jesus off the cross. Isn't that crazy to think about?
I wonder how they do that. Because they show like crazy things like on the Passion where they're like, they nail him on the ground and they're like slamming it over with, you know how they like turn it over and then pull it up? And so I wonder if like you actually just lower the cross itself and then take him off, like with the cross laying down on the ground.
I kind of skipped this part. I had a picture of 3 crosses in the sunset, and it's like sometimes you just look at the cross and you're like, oh, it's so beautiful. And, and it is. It's beautiful for what it did. But like, dude, the brutality of all that went into that. I mean, you literally suffocated. I was trying to find that word on Sunday. I was like, you.
Oh, I hate when I do, dude. This happens to me too much.
The breath got out of your lungs. I was like, I couldn't find that word. But like the suffix, like that's one of the most brutal, I think.
So
deaths
brutal. Yeah.
Plus,
suffocate. Yeah.
You're bleeding. The excruciating pain of having you being pierced.
Yeah, he's all whipped already and stuff too. Also, the sunset picture, the other reason why it's bad, it was dark for 3 hours.
Yeah,
just
we
went
preached about that last
dark.
week. Yes.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that.
That's so true.
So it was like pitch black, but that probably doesn't make a good picture.
That's true. Yeah.
That'd be funny if you just show like a black slide.
Like that's actually what it looks like.
This is the scene of the crucifixion.
Totally. So all 4 Gospels have the burial here, or list the burial, which is fascinating to me too, because you know, we talk in Apostles' Creed about his. Well, it says he died, he was buried, he rose again. So there's the idea that the burial, though, we don't necessarily have. Like, I wonder if we should even institute an Easter Saturday.
Yeah, like the silent Saturday thing or whatever.
Yeah. So we talk about the cross, which is very appropriate. We talk about the resurrection, which is even more appropriate.
Yeah.
But this in between time is very fascinating to me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't. It is very. It will be one of those like heaven DVD player things that'll be fun to like see
for sure
what was going on and what was going on in the supernatural realm in that, and there's all these things of Jesus like did he descend, like what like what is all that, what was happening with that kind of stuff.
So there's a lot of questions about now. When Jesus said, "Into your hands I commit my spirit," or "It's finished," did his spirit immediately go into the presence of the Father or the Godhead, or was his spirit and body buried for those 3 days? I don't think so, because he says the criminal on the cross, today you'll be with me in paradise.
Right. Which also makes me think of like, is it the kind of thing when you die? You know how people have talked about, there's like I think it's more philosophical of like, do you sort of come awake, quote unquote, in quote unquote heaven, and all of us do at the same time? Have you heard that kind of like theory of like you almost like come alert in heaven, like and we're all there? Interesting.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah, I don't know. So that's just like I don't necessarily think that's true or know if that's true, but it's intriguing.
There's some mystery with that.
Yeah. Because with the today you'll be with me in paradise, and anyway, like it's kind of wild.
But God couldn't die. I mean, he's eternal. But
you mean God couldn't cease to exist?
Right.
Jesus did die a physical death.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so I mean that's where it's both God and man, and God's fully man, fully God.
Right.
Jesus fully man, fully God. He dies.
He somehow like does something to the devil in that point, right? Of like some sort of taking the keys.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works. Yeah. So anyway, that'll just be some of the fun stuff to watch on our Heaven DVD player.
For sure. That's good. That's a great way to say it.
Which, I need to start saying like my streaming device. Then we did the pray out loud thing.
Yeah.
How'd you feel it went?
Not good. I had this vision of all of us praying out loud as like, Lord, we just confess, we surrender. And in my mind, it was just like a roar of a crowd, everyone praying. And Calvary people, I tried to lead you to the water, but I can only do so much. No one prayed. It was completely silent. I start whispering
a prayer. We could all hear
And
People are
it
gonna be
was
mad at
one of
me.
those decisions. It just felt like probably should have ran that by our service planning team before I did it. That's all I'm going to say.
I like the idea of it. I think you had us do something too intense.
Yes.
For us to do in 5 seconds of thought
100%.
and out loud.
Agree.
Okay.
Marie actually in her birthday festival said, you know what, it would have been great if you would have gotten us into groups just to pray real quick, like in groups of 2 or 3. You could have, maybe it would have felt more comfortable to pray, but yeah, there was just a sense that's not what our church is used to.
Yeah.
It was a big ask with little setup, preparation.
I think you could do K prayer and Korean style prayer if it was like prayers of thanksgiving.
Yes.
Safe, kind of easy. Not like
100%.
I have to say my deep dark
Surrender.
secrets of surrender out loud. And I was kind of like, I don't know what I surrender yet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I like pushing.
You know what? Yeah, every once in a while you take a swing, you miss, you just dust yourself off. And
There was
keep
one
going.
more swing that you took that I think was also a miss.
I think I know what you're gonna say. Does that have to do with my wallet? Yeah, go ahead and say
The
it.
joke bombs are my favorite moment.
Oh, it's so good.
Because you were like, you put that up and you paused for applause, like laugh break. You did like a laugh break pause.
Laugh break.
And like everyone just kind of looked at you. Like, bro, you did that? Anyway, it was funny.
Yeah,
that was so funny.
That was really good.
It was one of my favorite moments of the whole sermon.
No, thank you. You know what's fun about just preaching, and I just, again, thank you for the opportunity to do this consistently, is that you just get to be yourself with our church family,
Yeah,
especially 20 plus years into this.
Yeah.
I feel like there's this level of
Yeah.
relationship with people that, and it's not to excuse like poor thinking or planning or anything like that, but it's almost like, oh,
Yeah.
didn't work, but you know what?
Totally.
We all love each other. It's good. It's almost like a dad joke.
Totally.
Like, it feels
Totally.
like, does that make sense?
It totally
Maybe I'm
does.
trying to justify when I don't have an illustration that lands, but
it is like, it's a little bit of, not that, but there is like a little bit of your specific character.
Yes.
That does some stuff like that.
Yes.
That is funny. And it's like, it's fine.
it's quirky,
Yeah,
hopefully in a way that people can follow.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, because then we basically get into the part that was so good because it was like the Your Tomb's Borrowed,
Borrowed
Tomb,
Tomb, yeah.
And you just had like this really great like real emotion with it as
Yeah,
well, and
yeah.
the way you spoke of it.
I'm seeing people that
Yeah.
are buried people.
Yeah, exactly. So that was awesome. The only problem was Bernie, just so you know, was dead. He wasn't like
Oh
fake
yeah,
dead.
I did this little like Jesus didn't come out of the tomb like Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
but
that
Bernie
kinda
actually
did.
was.
Yeah.
I think what I meant was, the disciples didn't just prop him up.
Right.
Like he's alive.
Yeah, exactly. Do you ever get scared to say? Sometimes because I did this the week before where
Yeah.
I made the Wayne's World reference.
Oh, yeah.
And you made a Weekend at Bernie's reference. I probably, if we like had to watch those with like
Yes.
church people, we'd be like, oh shoot, why'd I like mention that movie?
Yeah.
Like there's probably
If we
there's
watched
probably-
the movie,
there's
with
probably tons of inappropriate things in both those movies.
yes, 100%.
But like sometimes those movies have just become part of like Weekend at Bernie's is just a thing you say
Yeah.
if there's like something about like a guy like thinking a guy's dead or something.
But it's
you
very
know?
cultural to I think our generation.
Yeah, I know, probably. Yeah, I know, it's funny.
know.
Or even because like when I'm saying Wayne's World and like are all the under 30s just like what?
Right.
You know? So
There are certain things too. I definitely had planned the Korean moment. I had thought through how to do it. Say
the
what you want
Bernie
about
thing was
that.
just off the cuff.
Bernie just flowed on my mind.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so I was actually listening to Lectio 365 today, and it was talking about or pray. No, yeah, Lectio 365. It was praying for the gift of discernment.
It's hilarious.
I think that's a good prayer.
No, but I loved it. I think you took us there in our heart, and I hope that like people listening now can kind of go there again a little bit in your heart of the tomb was borrowed. It genuinely like was so easy. It was like the easiest like lending act
Yeah.
of all time
Yeah.
because he got it right back. And that's the power, like Jesus, the plan of God was for this to happen.
Yeah.
Your tomb's barred too. You're not like in the grave. Your friends and family aren't still there.
Right.
You're not still there. We are actually like glorified in the heavenly places because that's our destiny.
For sure.
You know, and
Yeah.
so it's really powerful, and it's a lot of good power that comes from just like this. Okay, Jesus was buried.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's like what you had to work with at some level. But it's an interestingly powerful moment.
Yeah.
That took us to a cool place.
I was thinking this week about two things. One is my own death. And then burying people I love. And in both ways, I was thinking, wow, Lord, you know, Jesus can sympathize with all of our weaknesses, Hebrews 4 talks about. And, you know, last week we talked about the death of Jesus. And I just pray that when I'm on my deathbed, if I have an actual ability to be conscious that I'm dying, I just pray like that the death of Jesus would comfort me, that he was able to endure to the end, he stayed focused on who he was and what God was doing.
Yeah.
I pray that I can just remember that and be in there.
Amen.
And then the burial, I think when I'm, and you've done this, but as I'm beginning to bury family members and friends, and that I'll even be encouraged of this story right here,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
those two things were really hitting me last week of like, wow, Lord, I wonder if you're even preparing me for both of these things, you know?
That's good. Yep, absolutely. And that's what, because I've been thinking about this week with Jay Hewitt passing away.
Yes. Yeah, your buddy.
So pastor at Friends Orange, who he preached here once, and just did the Iron Man with him. He's suffering from brain tumors, brain cancer, and it got him in these last couple weeks. He passed away.
Weren't you actually going to do another race with him?
We did last summer.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So he did a triathlon in July. So it's cool that, I mean, he did a triathlon like within a year of passing away from brain cancer. He did an Olympic level triathlon. But that was, remember like how that was that day where it was crazy. Like he kind of went off course. Yeah. I told that story, I think, on here where he was swimming and he kind of went off course. And he ended up swimming twice as long as he was supposed to have to swim, and I didn't see him the rest of the day. And so I was super worried because I'm just like, what happened to Jay? Like I couldn't find him after the race anywhere. But he did keep going, and he finished. But it was like so far after that. It just seemed so far after that it was like too far after. It was like people were clearing out and stuff. So anyway, it was cool that when you think of doing that though, within, I don't know what,
having a brain
8 months
tumor.
of a brain tumor. But so he is currently, he is in heaven with God.
Right.
Yeah. So all that hope that you're speaking of is for him and all of you as those people that you're thinking about. And then that's hopefully some encouragement, not overly guilt-ridden type motivation, but motivation of evangelism and sharing our faith with folks that we care about. So,
for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. And now we're heading towards Easter. It is Tuesday of Holy Week as we record this. We got the Passover Seder on Thursday night. You can still sign up. You could even probably show up if you'd like. So Thursday night at 7:00. And then we have our Good Friday service at 7:00 on Friday. And then we have some morning prayers that are happening for the rest of this week. Yeah, it's 7:00 in the morning.
AM.
And then we have Easter Sunday services at 8:30 and 10:30 a.m.
Yeah, looking forward to those.
Yeah. So just considering like who could you invite to those that could hear the gospel. And so I've been working on the talk, getting it together.
Praying for you on that.
Yeah, submitted my content for my slides and stuff like that. So kind of getting it all together. I'm feeling good about how it's coming together. It's as a insider, kind of thing with being on the pod. It is like doing Easter Sunday now. This is like my 9th Easter service, and it is interesting. Like it's a challenge to be sort of, okay, well, I've done this 8 times in 8 years, and now I'm trying to like say something fresh, but like it's the same story. And it's, how do we have that not be old news but good news? And so there's the challenge is the other stuff that surrounds it, like the stories you tell or the kind of angle you take on it, you know. But yeah, we're talking a lot about transformation, the moment that changed the world. And so how does it go from religion to like true transformation, tradition to transformation? It's like a big part of what we'll be talking about as these women come to kind of just do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are just doing what we're supposed to do, but we might be filled with fear and like lacking belief or whatever, but we're like doing the stuff. Right. And so, but then they see the empty tomb and it's like, oh, here we go. Yeah. So the empty tomb takes us from tradition to transformation.
Oh, that's good.
So that's kind of the heart of what we're talking about. You'll hear more obviously on Sunday. One thing we need to chastise our podcast community on is podcast@calvarylife.org. That email address was unused this week.
So when you open that inbox, it just had nothing.
There's just nothing in there. Not even a Podbean like spam email.
Wow.
I know. But you said you got one sort of text.
Yeah.
And I think it's a chastisement of us.
Yes. Which, again, our love language is making fun of ourselves. So this works out well. But let me find it. Scroll down. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to say the name necessarily because I didn't get permission.
Okay.
But they said, hey, Matt, you're great. Your message on Sunday was great. But Jesus did not die for you and I. He died for you and me. You and Eric are equally bad at this. It's not just you.
You and I are bad at this.
So this listener is saying that we are both guilty of saying Jesus died for you and I, when grammatically it should be Jesus died for you and me. Mm-hmm. And so I actually went to AI just to make sure that this wasn't just some rogue pet peeve.
Oh, yeah.
And it does say the correct phrase is Jesus died for you and me, because for is a preposition, and anything that comes after a preposition takes the object form. So it would be me, not I.
You wouldn't say Jesus died for I.
Yeah.
That's what you always just take it and remove the both and just do it.
Yes.
Just the only one.
That makes a ton of sense.
Jesus died for me.
This is not going to be shocking to you or to any of our listeners.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was in English grammar. I don't know if that got skipped in Northern California, if I had the chicken pox during those 2 weeks or what, but I just have no sense of grammar.
Oh. Didn't realize that.
Even that sentence doesn't sound grammatically correct. I have no sense of grammar. I'm blaming it on Northern Californian schools.
Okay, interesting. Northern California schools. Private, public? What'd you do?
Public.
All right. Do you say the terms like the hecka or the other term?
Those are NorCal terms, yes. Yeah, so that's my excuse. What's your excuse for the you and I?
My excuse is I don't believe you. I don't think I did it.
Okay, listener, if you can find one clip of Eric saying you and I versus you and me.
And, you know, here's where I think we're also up there. We're speaking for 35 minutes, however many, 35 minutes, however many words that is. If every once in a while we make a little mistake with our grammar, then, I don't know, a little grace. I could believe you that I've done it once or twice on accident, and sometimes I bet I would even notice it and then just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Like, shoot, keep going. But anyway, no.
Dave Mitchell used to always tease me because for a long time, and actually I've kind of worked this out, but I used to say me and Marie.
I know.
So I'd say that all the time. Like me and Marie were going to the store, and so he'd be like, it's Marie and I. But I think I've actually gotten that trained in my brain. So now I need to work on Jesus died for
you and I.
You and me. Don't mess me up.
I don't know. I actually have no idea if I do that. It's shocking to me because I'm actually kind of like a grammar police person.
I know.
And so I'm kind of upset about it. So I don't know, we'll
You're
see.
upset about.
I'm gonna have to work through this.
You're upset about being lumped into that. Group.
Exactly. With
we embrace you.
With me and Marie.
We embrace you. We embrace you into our grammar.
I reject it. I don't want to accept it.
No, but thank you, Grammar Police. We appreciate that. We'll continue to
Yeah.
Sharpen our skills.
Just want to be better.
Oh. Is that it, grammar?
I have no idea. All right.
You and I have had fun on this podcast.
That's right. You did it right.
Oh, yeah, because the preposition's not there.
Yeah.
Both you and I had fun on this podcast. Both I don't think that.
Both is not that's not a preposition. Oh, man. This was a fun podcast for you and I. That's the doing it wrong.
Let's end on that.
Perfect. And thank you and I for listening to the Calvary Life Podcast.
Thanks again for listening to the Calvary Life Podcast. If you'd like to share any of your thoughts, please reach out to us at podcast@calvarylife.org. You can find out more about the show on Instagram @CalvaryLife or on our website at calvarylife.org/podcast.